This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump. This morning, we're getting reaction from Hoosier lawmakers.
Plus, a string of recent violence continues here in the Circle City. Now at 5, where shootings left a man critically injured and sent others to the hospital.
And a heartbreaking warning from a Johnson County family. We're working for you with the dangers they want you to avoid. 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We have Todd Clausen with us this morning to talk about what we can expect for our Wednesday forecast. Todd, maybe a few changes.
Yeah, some minor changes in the forecast. Yesterday was absolutely beautiful. Today, a cold front is going to arrive, and that's going to bring some minor rain chances into our forecast as we get into the afternoon and eventually into the evening hours. Now, right now, we are just fine. Skies are partly cloudy. Temperatures are currently sitting in the 50s and 60s across the area. Para Nichols and Crawfordsville, 58 in Bloomington, as well as Richmond, 58 is the current temperature, as well as you work your way from Tipton up into the Peru area. No visibility issues here this morning. The skies, they are currently mainly clear across the area. Now, as we get into the afternoon hours, that's when things are going to start to change. You notice the high, thin clouds starting to make their way into the area already, but the front is still well off to our west, and it's as that comes through that we will bring in the chance of just some spotty showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. We are not looking at any all-day rains. We are not looking at anything that's going to cancel plans, but just don't be shocked if you see a spotty sprinkle or shower out there. 75 by the noon hour, so we still warm really quick. Eventually high temperatures today, Lauren, will be topping off in the upper 70s.
Todd, thank you. Want to take a look right now at some ramp closures you'll need to keep in mind as you're heading out the door this morning. Take a look here in the downtown area. If you normally take I-70 and get off at Meridian Street, or if you're on Meridian Street leaving later today and wanting to hop back on the interstate, that is closed for construction. So just a heads up to drivers in that area. You can take West Street, Harding Street, 2 options for you this morning. And then just a reminder, this goes into effect tomorrow during the daytime hours. They'll be closing several ramps here in Columbus at I-65 and State Road 46. That's from about 9 until 3 p.m. on Thursday. Let's take a live look right now over on the west side, I-465 at US 40. That's Washington Street. You can see traffic there is moving along fine, northbound and southbound. No crashes on the west side right now to slow you down. Well, House Democrats are officially moving forward with impeachment.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi making the announcement about the formal inquiry on Tuesday after months of calling the move divisive. The shift comes as President Trump authorizes the release of the transcript of his controversial phone conversation with Ukraine's president, a call many speculate is part of a still undisclosed whistleblower complaint. The president admitting days before the conversation he ordered $400 million in military aid to be withheld from Ukraine. The president first saying he withheld the money because he wanted Ukraine to address corruption, then saying other countries needed to put up the money. But President Trump and other top Republicans are calling the impeachment inquiry a political ploy.
She does that. They all say that's a positive for me from the election. You could also say, who needs it? It's bad for the country.
Yesterday, the entire U.S. Senate passed a non-binding resolution calling on the Trump administration to release the secret whistleblower complaint, saying President Trump urged Ukraine's president to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son to congressional intelligence committees.
And only a few Indiana lawmakers have commented on the impeachment proceedings. Congresswoman Jackie Walorski tweeted, quote, Speaker Pelosi and Democratic leaders have made it clear that their #1 goal is to impeach the president, no matter what the facts are, end quote. And shortly before Speaker Pelosi made her announcement, Congressman Andre Carson tweeted, quote, just so we're clear, I have supported an impeachment inquiry for some time because it's become increasingly obvious to me that the president has flagrantly abused the power of the Oval Office without regard to the Constitution he swore to uphold and defend, end quote.
New this morning, a man is hospitalized following a shooting on the city's near north side. It happened around 9:30 last night near 30th and Graceland. Police say the victim showed up to Methodist Hospital. Our crew at the scene reported seeing officers taking evidence photos of a Jeep. Police have not released any information surrounding the search for a suspect. And that shooting near 30th and Graceland was just one in a series of violent crimes across the city. Police also responded to 3 other shootings within a span of 4 hours. Those shootings happened near 30th in California, near East 42nd in Shadeland, and on Carpenter Court. Police say all the victims in those cases are expected to survive.
So meanwhile, downtown businesses may work together to address this violence after the weekend shooting on Maryland Street. On Tuesday, 10 Point Coalition President Reverend Charles Harrison talked about the issue. Police say a fight between two groups of teenagers led to the gunfire on Saturday. 6 people were shot. Investigators say 3 of the victims were bystanders.
98% of the kids that come down here come down to have a good time, and these are good kids. There is 2% of the kids that are coming down here and their motives are different. In the past, we have put things in place to try to address that issue, and I think we need to put those things back in place where this doesn't just become a law enforcement issue, but it becomes a community issue.
Reverend Harrison is calling on community leaders, faith-based groups, and activists to help patrol downtown to help create that safe environment.
A former student at Cloverdale High School is in custody after he was spotted with a gun in the school's parking lot. School Superintendent Greg Linton says the former student was seen taking an automatic weapon from one car to put into his vehicle. The school's assistant principal and students witnessed the man with the gun and alerted school resource officers. A statement on the school's website says police are investigating the incident.
A Central Indiana woman is sharing her grief in hopes of preventing future tragedies like the one that killed her daughter.
Getting a phone call in the middle of the night to say come to this accident is just devastating.
20-year-old Shauna Smith died in March after a train hit her car on a railroad crossing on Tracy Road in Whiteland. It's unclear if she did not see or hear that train. Shauna's mother is sharing her story as Indiana marks Rail Safety Week. The Hoosier State ranks 3rd nationally for railroad crossing collisions. Krista Smith says that her daughter was running late for work the night of the accident.
You don't think that this happens to you or your children or your family. You hear about it happening to other people. It doesn't come into our home, and unfortunately this time it was us. And we just want to share her story in hopes that it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Last year, 17 people died in railroad crossing collisions here in the state of Indiana. As part of Rail Safety Week, companies like Louisville and Indiana Railroad and CSX police are making sure that people stop for trains and are writing violations to drivers who do not stop. Here at 5:07, Mario Kart, Pac-Man, Tetris, they're all games that you've grown to know and love.
And students are taking over the controllers and creating their own video games, preparing for a life in the technology world. Our Aaron Lish joins us live outside of the McKenzie Career Center, where these students are leveling up with this program. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning. So I don't know about you guys, but I get sucked into playing these video games for hours. This is one that I've just been going crazy about. And students, they are actually creating these type of video games in school. And what they do is they work on this for an entire year. They create 2 different video games using Engine Unity 3D to make it all happen. They start off developing a storyline, creating 3D models, textures, and then really programming these different levels before publishing the games. They actually have a team of instructors working with them, and they tell me the purpose of this class is to get students excited about coding, which really is a staple in the technology industry. And those students are taking the computer skills they've gained in the program and combining it with their love of video games.
I love video games. I was born into a society that loves to play with electronics and everything else. I've always just been inspired to try and make my own video games, because when I play video games, like, you know what, I think I have some ideas that could, work better for that.
Texture of the face.
So this is part of the IDU partnership with IUPUI, so they are gaining college credits through this course. And this also sets students up for those entry job levels with coding and creating these different video games. And we're going to hear a little bit more from that student in the next half hour and how this is setting him up for his future career. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. The federal prison in Terre Haute has a help wanted sign posted. The Bureau of Prisons is hosting a job fair today at the prison training facility. That's at 4200 Bureau Road North in Terre Haute. The prison is hiring for several different positions, including correctional officers, medical, and psychology staff. All you need is your resume and state-issued ID. The job fair runs from 9 this morning until 2 this afternoon.
It is 5:09. 8 people across the country have died from a rare mosquito-borne illness called Eastern Equine Encephalitis, or Triple E. So far, there have been no cases reported in Elkhart County, where the town of Bristol is located, but 4 horses have tested positive, so they aren't taking any chances. The town manager bought $500 worth of mosquito spray, and now they're giving out cans for free.
So by giving them the ability to put on personal protection with mosquito spray, it gives them the ability to protect themselves when they go out, when they know they're going to be outside.
Triple E is a rare but potentially deadly illness caused by mosquito bites. Usually only 5 to 10 human cases are reported every year. The CDC says about 30% of Triple E cases result in death. Here at 5:10, want to take a turn and get a check of our forecast with Todd Clausen.
And it's a decent forecast, especially this morning as the kids get ready to head off to school. No weather-related issues for them this morning, with temperatures that are currently hovering in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees here in the city. So we'll kind of split the difference and call it 59 with that partly cloudy sky. As the kids come home from school, it's going to be in the upper 70s with mostly cloudy skies and just a chance of a stray shower. We are not looking at any widespread rain here throughout the day today, or really any heavy rainfall, but there is a cold front that is off to our west that is going to come through later on this afternoon. And you already see a broken line of showers with this front, and that's exactly what we're going to see here in central Indiana. So don't bank on any rain here throughout the day today, but just know that there will be the possibility of a few showers. Temperatures in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees in northern locations with that spot shower chance, and basically same temperatures to the south, maybe a couple degrees warmer across Bedford as well as Seymour. Then in and around the metro area, high temperatures will be in the upper 70s as well.
Todd, thank you. Recent suicides aboard a Navy aircraft carrier has officials concerned. This morning, the message they're sending to the sailors on board.
Plus, a Florida boy is walking and talking after a freak accident aboard a boat. After the break, hear from the teen who doctors gave a 1 in a million chance of survival.
And we're keeping a close eye on your morning commute. Here's a live look on the northeast side, I-69 near 82nd Street, where traffic is moving along just fine this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back after the break with more news, weather, and traffic here on Good Morning Indiana.
Is from 4:30 to 7.
11 more physicians have been charged in the opioid addiction crisis. The charges come from the Appalachian Region Prescription Strike Force. It monitors prescription statistics from doctors to check for any fraudulent practices. The Justice Department's Criminal Division says the cases involve patients paying off doctors to write them prescriptions. The doctors are accused of running pill mills, distributing more than 17 million narcotic pills. So far, a total of 87 medical professionals have been charged. 9 have pleaded guilty.
At 5:15 this morning, questions surround an abnormally high number of suicides on a Navy aircraft carrier. 3 members of the USS George H.W. Bush committed suicide last week. Those deaths occurred in separate, unrelated incidences. The ship's captain issued a statement encouraging any sailor who needs help to seek it. He says psychologists, counselors, and chaplains are all on board at all times. The aircraft carrier is currently stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. If you or a loved one is in a crisis and needs to talk to someone, we here at RTV6 want you to know that there are resources available. The Suicide Prevention Hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That number is 1-800-273-TALK. An online chat is also available.
At 5:16, if you have a Nissan parked in your driveway, listen up. The automaker is recalling 2 of its best sellers, the Rogue SUV and Altima sedan. Nissan says a defect with the backup camera allows drivers to adjust the rear view image until it's no longer visible. The problem affects around 1 million vehicles manufactured after May 1st of 2018. Nissan has a list of the recalled vehicles on its website. The company says it's working on a software update to fix the problem.
At 5:16, 7 counties and more than 48,000 customers are without power out in California this morning. The electric company PG&E is trying to prevent sparks from their lines causing a wildfire. The company is doing what they call public safety power shutoffs. Exactly when the power will go back on is up in the air right now, but PG&E is telling customers prepare for multiple day outages. Meteorologists say that hot, dry, windy conditions are perfect for a quick-moving wildfire. Back here at home, Todd, do we have a chance of a few rain showers today?
Yeah, there's a cold front coming through later on this afternoon, and that will give us the opportunity of just a hit or miss stray shower here and there across parts of the area. Nothing to write home about. Some of you probably go throughout the entire day without even a drop of rainfall, and the morning commute is definitely going to be dry no matter where you are here this morning. A live look from downtown, and this is looking off to the north. You can see the Riley Towers there, just north of downtown. 62 degrees. The dew points in the mid-50s, so it's still very, very comfortable. I opened my windows again last night before I went to bed, and it was very, very comfortable for me. And the winds are out of the south right now at 9 miles per hour, so we've had a couple good sleeping weather days. And temperatures in the afternoons have been very comfortable as well, but there are going to be some minor changes going forward in this forecast. 57 right now up in Tipton. 58's the current temperature in Bloomington, one of our cooler spots as usual over in Crawfordsville at 55 degrees. And you can see the warmth starting to build a little bit here off to our west. So what's going to happen is as high pressure slips off towards the east, we're going to turn our winds more southerly in the coming days, and that's going to start to tap into some of these warmer temperatures as we work our way into especially the weekend and then beyond into next week. So here's the high thin cloud cover that's moving in already right now. Here is our cold front. You notice just a broken line of showers and storms currently along that front. So as we go over to TrueCast, it's probably after the noon hours, so we're talking afternoon hours, early evening, that there will be the chance of just a few spotty showers. I think it looks a little worse here on TrueCast. It's not picking up how dry our air is, so a lot of this is going to evaporate before it hits the ground. So if you pull up a radar on your phone, Storm Shield obviously is the one we prefer here at RTV6. It'll show some rain showers, but not all that is going to reach the ground. So just don't be shocked if there's a quick shower or maybe a rumble of thunder in your neighborhood this afternoon. But again, it's not going to linger very long, and you don't need to cancel any plans. Otherwise, a little more in the way of cloud cover today compared to the past few days. 73 degrees by the noon hour, and the temperatures today will be in the mid-70s. That rain chance should end this evening. As that goes through, temperatures will cool off back down into the 60s. And so it's another good sleeping night with temperatures that'll get down into the 50s to start tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow is really a very, very nice day. Temperatures will still be in the 70s, lots of sunshine. But once we get past tomorrow, notice the heat starting to build in. 84 on Friday, kind of in the low to mid 80s over the weekend with just some spotty storm chances. But then next week, high temperatures will be back up, Lauren, to near 90 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a live look right now at traffic over on the east side, I-70 here at Post Road. Traffic's moving along just fine. No issues to slow you down. So let's plan out your commute, taking a look at drive times on our map. Up here on the west side and through the Brownsburg area, if you're taking Interstate 74 eastbound, it is a 7-minute drive from State Road 267 to the I-465 ramps. No problems there. Down here to our west, we also have a 12-minute drive from Ronald Reagan Parkway to I-65 at the South Split. So no issues if you're leaving the airport heading to the downtown area. And let's take a live look out there right now from our INDOT traffic camera. You can see traffic here is traveling up to speed in both directions. We'll keep an eye out for any issues and keep you updated throughout the morning.
A Florida teen amazes doctors after a boating anchor punctures his skull. Caleb Bennett went boating on the Manatee River near Tampa in March. The boat's anchor became loose, hitting him in the head. The anchor lodged itself nearly 3 inches into his right frontal lobe. Doctors at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital performed emergency surgery, then placed him in a medically induced coma for 5 days.
All the odds were stacked against me, and I was gonna die, probably. Like, I was supposed to die. But yet, God saved my life.
I've never seen somebody with an injury like that walk out of the hospital almost completely neurologically intact. That's 1 in a million.
Caleb's parents say his recovery is going well. He woke up from the coma, still able to walk and talk. He is on medication for seizures and sees a doctor regularly.
Wow, what a story there. Well, a new test project will allow Xbox users to play video games on their phones, and it's called the xCloud project. xCloud will use the data centers Microsoft already uses for Xbox games. However, you won't be able to play the games on your phone through the touch screen, so you'll need an Xbox controller with Bluetooth. Registration for this new service is already open. In the next few weeks, Microsoft will send out official invitations to people who are registered.
After a lengthy shelter stay, a pup who went viral now has a forever home. We'll introduce you to her lucky new family after the break. A Kansas shelter dog who stole hearts across the country when her story went viral has finally found a forever home. Queen, a 3-year-old terrier mix, was living at the Great Plains SPCA in Merriam. She went more than 400 days without being adopted. She was adopted by a man who his friend sent him a picture of the pup. Tony Peluso said when he went to visit Queen, he fell in love immediately. He didn't even know about the viral campaign to find her a home, which included an animal advocate moving into Queen's kennel last week to raise awareness. And what a great farewell. Off they go together forever.
She's
I love
later,
it.
Guys, going to my new home. Very sweet. Well, the man who sold the very first Ford Mustang is heading to Michigan to see that car again for the first time in 55 years. Harry Phillips mistakenly sold the car 3 days before its official release date back in 1964. An airline pilot who saw the convertible on display at a dealership insisted on buying it right away. He agreed to let the dealership continue to display the car for a couple of weeks before driving it home. Phillips' granddaughter raised money on social media to send him to the Henry Ford Museum to see the car again.
Oh, that's a good story, too.
Yeah. All right, we do want to bring in Todd Clausen and talk about some more good news. We've had some beautiful weather the last 2 days and a beautiful sunset last night.
Yeah, it was spectacular. You know, you get those sunsets that are just beautiful when the humidity's low, and then you just got a few wispy clouds out there. And that's exactly what we had. Led to a pretty comfortable overnight period. Now, as we're getting our Wednesday going, we'll get you out the door here with temperatures for the most part that are in the 50s, running just slightly warmer here in the city, but temperatures will likely cool off another couple degrees before they start to warm up. Eventually a high of 79 degrees with mostly cloudy skies this afternoon and just a chance of a few spotty showers. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Day at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
House Democrats are officially moving forward with an inquiry to impeach President Trump. We're going to break down the whistleblower report that sparked the official proceedings.
And businesses in Kokomo are helping workers affected by the ongoing GM strike. A look at what the community is doing to give the auto workers a hand. But first, here at 5:30, we need to check in on the weather because things are going to start to change here over the next few days.
Yeah, we know it's officially fall, right? But it's been pretty summer-like for the most part. So we want to check in with Todd and see what we can expect as we go into our Wednesday.
Yeah, you know, today temperatures are going to be fairly seasonable, just a couple degrees above normal. The big change is going to arrive this weekend as that summer-like warmth will start to build back in. So this morning, you'll need the sunglasses as you get going. We probably don't see as much in the way of sunshine today, at least compared to yesterday, but we'll start off partly cloudy before those clouds start to thicken up. So some of you might want a light jacket. I did not check the umbrella. There will be the chance of showers this afternoon, but they're going to be very, very spotty. That's the good news in the forecast. That's why I really don't think you need to carry that umbrella around all day because any showers we do see will be very, very light. Outside of the city, temperatures are in the 50s for the most part. To the north, 55 in Logansport and Kokomo, 55 as the number down in Anderson as well this morning. So partly cloudy to start our day. Your morning commute is just fine. It is dry, but there is a cold front off to our west, and you see a few thunderstorms there approaching central Illinois. That front does come through our area this afternoon with the opportunity for a quick passing shower or a thunderstorm. As far as temperatures, as the clouds move in, that'll kind of cap our warming during the afternoon hours, so look for highs in the mid to upper 70s.
Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a live look on the northeast side, I-69 and I-465. You can see traffic here is traveling smoothly in both directions. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a look at our map. A reminder about the ramp system closure here, I-70 and Meridian Street in several directions, getting on and off the interstate. This is closed through Friday morning for some repair work that NDOT needed to do after some winter damage. Again, set to reopen Friday morning. Take Harding Street or West Street exits as detours until then. For now, let's take a live look on the north side of town. I-65 here in 21st Street. Traffic is picking up, as you can see on your screen. Traveling up to speed, no crashes here to slow you down.
For the fourth time in the nation's history, Congress has opened an impeachment investigation of the president. Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying President Trump has seriously violated the Constitution. Pelosi announcing the first step toward impeachment yesterday. The historic moves comes after President Trump acknowledged he asked Ukrainian President Zelensky to investigate his political rival Joe Biden and Biden's son Hunter. Just days before that phone call, President Trump had ordered his chief of staff to freeze nearly $400 million in foreign aid to Ukraine.
The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections.
Trump is calling the impeachment inquiry more breaking news witch hunt garbage and presidential harassment. He has authorized the transcript of the phone call with Ukraine's president to be released. And while the Trump administration initially blocked Congress from seeing a whistleblower's complaint related to Trump's call with Ukraine's president, sources now say the complaint is undergoing a declassification process by the White House for its possible release. New this morning, a man has been hospitalized following a shooting on the city's near north side. It happened around 9:30 last night near 32nd and Graceland. The victim was brought to the hospital with a gunshot wound and is now in critical condition. Our crew at the scene reported seeing officers taking evidence photos of a Jeep at the scene. Police have not released any information about a suspect.
It is 5:33 and it is day 10 of the United Auto Workers strike against General Motors. That's 10 days of these GM workers not receiving the full pay. But up in Kokomo, several businesses are stepping up to support the workers who support them. The owners of One More Gym in Kokomo are opening their doors to union workers in need of a place to unwind, while other businesses are also offering big discounts to help.
You know, it's a stressful time for them, and, you know, our gym is supposed to be a stress reliever. So in order to relieve just a little bit of stress, we're freezing, you know, their membership dues so they can come in and get rid of some of that stress.
Several other Kokomo businesses are joining One More Gym and offering discounts to GM employees. That includes Dan Young's Heating and Cooling, Designing Line Salon, and Area Diner Choo Choo Magoo. Negotiations continue this morning between General Motors and the United Auto Workers. The union is asking for higher wages, improved pensions, and a promise that GM won't close 4 plants in Maryland, Ohio, and Michigan. According to GM's Twitter account, that company is offering workers a deal that improves wages and their health care benefits.
4 Indiana residents are suing the federal government over the state's plan to add work requirements for those who have Medicaid. Indiana's program would require those who don't qualify for exemptions to report 20 hours of work or a related activity. If they can't, they would lose coverage after December 31st. The lawsuit filed Monday claims the rules wrongly jeopardize health care for thousands of people. Governor Eric Holcomb says the requirements would ensure Hoosiers can gain skills, volunteer, or get a better paying job. Washington ruled to block similar plans in Arkansas, Kentucky, and New Hampshire.
Governor Eric Holcomb has named a new leader of Indiana's National Guard. Colonel Dale Lyles will take over the position on October 1st. The Salem native most recently served as the Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations at the National Guard Bureau in Washington, D.C. He replaces Major General Courtney Carr, who stepped down in August. Carr is facing a lawsuit from a former contractor who says he subjected her to intimidation and retaliation.
Mario Brothers, Space Invaders, Zelda, Rock Band, they're all video games played over the decades. And growing up in a world full of technology, students are now hoping to use their own creativity to build video games. Getting classroom to career ready, our Aaron Lish is live with the program created by the McKenzie Career Center to make all of this happen. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning. So maybe you'll hop onto your Xbox or your Wii, maybe even your phone or computer just to pass the time away and play some video games. And students in programming, they are hoping to create some video games that you will come to play and love.
I love video games. I was born into a society that loves to play with electronics.
Students sit at their computers and create fully developed video games.
I've always just been inspired to try and make my own video games because when I play video games, like, you know what, I think I have some ideas that could, you know, work better for that.
Which allows them to use their imagination.
When you're here, like, in real life, you're restricted by things such as, like, gravity, you know, but in the virtual world, you can do anything you want.
They develop storylines and use Unity 3D software to program the games.
Now, you can double click that and bring it from 90 frames out to 300.
Instructors say this way of teaching gets kids excited about coding, which is a staple in computer technology.
So it's kind of a way to get them into the nitty-gritty first, learn how to code, learn how to design, then they get to make a video game. So it makes them want to learn all the aspects of the field.
As students code and build, they're adding to their resume, and it's getting them excited for a career in the video game industry.
I really just want to be on a team that we all code together and we make great games that I think everyone will enjoy.
So they are partnered with IUPUI in the IDU program, so that gets them some college credit, getting them ready for that secondary level of schooling, and then they're also getting that experience for careers in programming and coding. Back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. It is College Application Week across Indiana, and that means 15 colleges in the state will waive application fees, and dozens of high schools will host events to help seniors navigate the process. Yesterday, the National Association for College Admissions Counselors hosted a college fair at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Students and families learned about hundreds of colleges and universities, all at one location.
I want to go into a big enough school so that I can participate and be part of the events, but I actually want a small space so that I can have a one-on-one conversation with my college professor.
You can find a list of the colleges offering free applications this week at hiringhoosiers.com.
At 5:39, visitors to downtown Indianapolis will have a new hotel option in 2021. Choice Hotels International plans to build a 148-room, 5-story Cambria hotel on South Meridian Street, just down the block from Shapiro's Deli near I-70. The site is also walking distance to Lucas Oil Stadium and the Indiana Convention Center, and it's also close to the Anthem and Eli Lilly headquarters.
Eli Lilly is opening part of its campus to the community. The company officially donated South Street Square Park to Indianapolis yesterday. Transferring the property was always part of the plan. Eli Lilly developed the park on its corporate headquarters downtown to provide a place for people to enjoy green space in the middle of the city.
We are honored to say to you and the entire community, welcome to our front yard. And today, it's truly ours, as in all of ours in this wonderful city we call home.
The ceremony for this gift comes 2 days before Eli Lilly's annual Global Day of Service. At 5:40, Todd Clausen has a check at our forecast.
All right, as you walk out the door and get your day going here, the middle of the week, we're pushing towards Friday, and the weather is going to cooperate for your morning drive here this morning with temperatures that are going to be in the 50s, and we'll call it partly cloudy skies. So it's a nice, comfortable start to the day with that sunshine that's out there. If you're thinking about heading out for lunch, not quite as nice as it was yesterday. Temperature-wise, we're in good shape. 75 degrees will be your noontime temperature, but at this point, the clouds will be increasing just a little bit, but at that point, we are still dry, so you definitely can head out for lunch, but just know, as we get into the afternoon hours, there will be the chance of a few spotty showers as a cold front runs through the state, so slightly cooler to the west, mid-70s compared to eastern locations, where the front takes a little longer to get to. You should see your highs today climb up into the low 80s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A statewide health emergency has been declared in Massachusetts over vaping. Still ahead, the new restrictions the state has put in place.
And the South Korean president is proposing a change to its border with North Korea. After the break, his idea for an international peace zone.
And here at 541, want to take a live look at your commute through the downtown area. I-70 and I-65 here at the North Split. Traffic is picking up, but traveling up to speed. No crashes here to slow you down. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break on Good Morning Indiana. It is 5:44, and we're keeping a close eye on your roads for this Wednesday morning commute. Here's a live look on the south side, I-65 and Southport Road. No crashes here to slow you down.
As the outbreak of lung illnesses tied to vaping continues, Massachusetts' governor has issued a statewide temporary ban on the sale of e-cigarettes and vaping products. The ban is set to last 4 months and bans the sale of all vaping products in retail, online, and any other means. Massachusetts is the first state to issue a wide sweeping sales ban.
We as a Commonwealth need to pause sales in order for our medical experts to collect more information about what is driving these life-threatening vaping-related illnesses. We also need to better understand the inherent dangers of vaping both nicotine and marijuana.
Earlier this month, Michigan and New York issued bans on flavored e-cigarettes. The CDC is investigating the outbreak, but says they have not found a common e-cigarette or ingredient.
Boeing will soon be paying financial assistance to the victims' families in 2 737 MAX crashes. The company has set up a $100 million fund for that assistance. The families of more than 300 victims will receive over $144,000 each. The rest of the fund will be back education and economic empowerment in affected communities. Boeing is still facing numerous lawsuits and investigations linked to the 737 MAX. It's not clear yet if that plane will ever be allowed to fly again.
South Korea's heavily fortified border with North Korea may become an international peace zone. South Korean President Moon Jae-in proposed the idea of transforming the DMZ at the United Nations yesterday. He says the area would guarantee peace in the Korean Peninsula and aid in denuclearization efforts. For more than 60 years, the DMZ has been closed off from human interference and has become a haven for endangered wildlife.
It is 5:46. 6 days after a large earthquake shook the island of Puerto Rico. They're now being hit with a tropical storm. According to the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Storm Karen moved over the eastern islands of Puerto Rico last night. The storm brought heavy rains and tropical storm winds, causing mudslides and power outages. The system has since moved north away from Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Back here at home, we want to check in with Todd and see what our forecast looks like for this Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a decent forecast for us. It's not totally rain-free as we work our way throughout the day. There will be a cold front that is going to arrive, and that cold front will bring the chance of just a few very spotty showers here. We're not talking about a lot in the way of rainfall. We're not talking about widespread rain, but as you notice our timeline on the bottom of your screen here, as we work our way throughout the course of the day and into the afternoon and evening hours, those rain chances just go up a little bit. So what we're seeing this morning is the clouds starting to increase. It's not going to be that bright blue sky yesterday with just those few fair weather clouds, just a little more in the way of cloud cover here throughout the day today. And then there's this broken line of showers and storms that is off to our west, and that is what is going to slide through our area later on this afternoon and evening, bringing again the chance of some needed rainfall. We got a little bit early Monday morning. We could use some more rain here across the state. And as we go into the afternoon hours, here we are at the noon hour, you notice the showers are weakening as they make their way through. So they're running into a lot of dry air that's in place here across the state of Indiana. So it looks probably a little bit worse here on TrueCast than it will actually be. But just know throughout the afternoon and evening hours, there will be that threat of an isolated shower. Do you need to carry the umbrella all day long? I really don't think you do. It's just going to be a brief window that will have the chance of some showers. So if you're walking out the door, you see it raining, hey, maybe just have to wait a half hour or so, and that shower will pass through your neighborhood, and then you'll be in pretty good shape going forward throughout the remainder of the day. These showers aren't going to linger. They're just going to move along as the front moves off towards the east. 50s and 60s right now this morning. 62 in Indy, 55 in Kokomo, 58 is the current temperature in Bloomington. Throughout the day today, we'll see the temperatures warm into the mid to upper 70s as those skies go mostly cloudy, and we bring in that shower threat throughout the afternoon hours. And these temperatures are still actually a little bit above normal for us for this time of year. Our normal high is 74. Now, fast forward to tomorrow, your Thursday. It's really going to be a beautiful day. On the backside of this front, we'll have mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Temperatures once again will be in the mid 70s for us all across the area. The humidity, that remains low. The winds remain light. But as we work our way into Friday and then into the weekend, the temperatures will start to come up as we'll get into the low to mid 80s. The humidity will come up as well. And with that combination, there will be the chance of maybe a stray storm over the course of Saturday and maybe even into Sunday. But again, it's just very, very spotty chances. And then look at those temperatures by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday of next week. We're talking about highs that'll be approaching 90 degrees in many locations. So kind of fall-like still here the next few days with temperatures in the 70s before that heat returns over the weekend.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. No crashes to report around the metro area. Great news for your commute. Let's take a look at it here on the south side. Your drive times heading northbound on State Road 37 from Smith Valley Road in Greenwood to the I-465 ramp ramps at the Harding Street exit. It is a 8-minute drive, so everything there is traveling up to speed. Taking a look over here along northbound I-65, starting at Whiteland Road down in Johnson County, heading northbound all the way to I-70 at the North Split. Everything is moving along just fine. It's a quick 18-minute drive, so no delays there. Let's take a look, though, right here near the downtown area at I-70 and West Street. That's an area where everything is moving along up to speed, and you can take West Street as your way to get into downtown for your commute this morning. A reminder, the Meridian Street exit is blocked.
More than 800 people are out of a job after rideshare company Uber takes a big hit. Over the last 3 months, Uber has blown through $5.2 billion in investments, and its stock has fallen 30%. Uber has made cuts in their marketing and product and engineer departments. They may also face a new challenge with a California law that could make costs go up for drivers in the state. Uber CEO says despite this, business is still growing and the company will recover from the hit.
Today, environmentalists and farmers will go head-to-head over how much land will be reserved to protect jaguars. Environmentalists want to reserve nearly 60,000 acres spanning New Mexico and Arizona as critical habitat for the endangered species. Farmers argue this giant cat is killing off their livestock. Jaguars have been protected under the Endangered Species Act since 1997. A hearing is scheduled in front of the U.S. Court of Appeals later today in Denver.
Google is releasing a new look for their Gmail apps. Coming up, why they created a dark mode. That's next.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:54 on our Wednesday, and we're keeping a close eye on your roads. Here's a live look on the northeast side, I-465 near Fall Creek Road. Everything's traveling up to speed.
The wait for Gmail dark mode on your smartphone is now over. Google launched the new look that flips the background in the Gmail app from white to black. The company says the new theme will be rolled out immediately for Android and Apple users. Dark mode was developed because people find it easier on the eyes and it helps extend battery life. The move is part of a popular trend. Twitter and Samsung have also released versions, and Facebook is reportedly testing theirs. Very interesting. All right, well, we are slowly working our way into bright mode as we await the sun to rise this morning.
Yeah, you know, we'll wait for it, and we'll have a decent sunrise. Probably won't be as spectacular as yesterday. There's a little more in the way of cloud cover, but honestly, sometimes a little additional cloud cover makes it all that much better. So we'll wait and see. Sunrise not until a little after 7:30 now. 59 right now in Lafayette as well as Bloomington. 62 is the current temperature in Indy. 61 is the temperature up in Muncie. 55 though in Logansport, so still some cooler spots, but we don't have the 40s like we had yesterday, so that is the good news. We have skies that are partly cloudy. There are some rain showers and a few thunderstorms here in Illinois. Those will slide through during the middle half of the day, so our rain chances today not zero, but everything we do see will be very, very spotty.
Todd, thank you. 17 people in Indiana died in railroad collisions last year. Coming up in the next half hour, how one mother hopes that her story will help to warn others about the dangers.
And a string of shootings across Indianapolis leaves multiple people hurt overnight. Later, the call for the community to help make a change to stop the violence.
It is 5:56 on our Wednesday, and here's a live look overlooking our city, viewed to the north. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up right after the break. Stay with us.